Welcome to Duo Chat with Brittany and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows from shows ranging from the 90s to today.
Hi everyone, I'm Brittany,
And I'm Cynthia.
and today we're talking about season 4, episode 4, titled Future Tense. I don't understand the title. It doesn't make any sense, does it?
Well, it's about their
Future
future.
Tense
I don't
as
know
a
about the
title?
tense, but
As
yeah,
a title
I know.
to a TV show.
I guess.
Future Tense. That's it? Okay. Air date October 25th, 2000. And the synopsis is
Everybody starts to think about their future and how they are getting into college, with Joey concerned about Pacey's grades not being good enough to graduate. Drue makes everybody thinks it's Jen's birthday so he can throw a party. Meanwhile, Andie takes over Jack's applications for college and drives him crazy with her obsession over it. Gretchen gets a job at Gail's restaurant and talks with Dawson about the real reason why she dropped out of college.
I don't think Joey's really concerned or upset or I don't know, over Pacey not going to college.
Yeah, I think
She's
someone,
more, I don't, that didn't really make sense.
yeah, whoever
I was
writes,
kind of questioning when you were reading it to me earlier. I was like, should we put, because she wasn't obsessing over him not going to college. She was obsessing over herself going to college.
yeah,
So she didn't care. All she said was in the show was, well, I can't tell him because he won't understand because he's not going to college, basically, because he's barely going to graduate.
hmm
So she wasn't worried about him.
yeah, I just get these from IDMB, so I don't
Yeah.
know if they watched it or,
What do you get from
did I say that right?
IDB or something?
IMDb? IMDb, yeah.
I don't know. It sounded like you said IDBM or something. And I
Yeah.
was like, what?
So that website, they have all the synopsises there. And I copy and paste and then cut it down a bit already, but yeah, some things are just,
Don't make sense. Remember the one episode where it was Dawson's house, but it was really Graham's house for Thanksgiving?
hmm
And then you didn't realize it until the very end
yeah.
when we were finally there.
hmm
Yeah. I don't think the people that write it actually watch the shows.
Right.
Um, so how did you like how it starts with my favorite couple?
Yeah, well, they're working on
Now I have a
home.
question though.
Yeah.
Are they your favorite couple as of right now?
Yeah.
Okay. But like all the couples that we have seen, there haven't been that many, but all the couples, are they your favorite?
Yeah.
Up to this point. Because yes, you may have a favorite in the future, but I'm just saying right now.
Yeah, because before it was Pacey and Andie, so.
Yeah.
hmm
That's what I mean. Like Pacey and Andie are my number 2.
hmm
But Joey and Pacey are my number 1.
Yeah, we
I
all
just
know that.
well, Pacey's my number 1.
Yeah, so Joey gets mail from all over the country for colleges.
Yeah, and he finds them.
Yeah.
You know, it was funny when he was going on about 1984 and everything. She was like, "You were in diapers."
hmm
Oh my gosh.
And then this time she broke the fourth wall by saying about,
Yes, I was like, "Here we go. We're talking about Joey going to, as a character on a TV show, going to the same college as everyone else in the show in their hometown."
hmm
Because yeah, that's realistic.
well, they did that in Boy Meets World. Everybody went to the same college.
They do that on every show.
I
They
know,
did
I'm
it
just
on
saying that's what
Beverly.
she,
Okay, they did it on Beverly Hills 90210.
oh, okay.
And
I don't watch that much.
it was like, why would the Andrea, the smartest girl, go to
Oh,
California
the reboot.
University?
Reboot, right?
No,
Oh, the
it was the
original.
original.
I get them confused.
But I'm just like, Andrea was valedictorian, 4 point whatever,
hmm
and she went to CU, which is fine. But the problem is she could have went to Harvard, Yale, Princeton, and she wanted to go to those colleges and or universities. And the fact that they put her to CU, it was only because she had to stay with the gang, and it didn't make any sense for her character to stay there with them. You know.
Right.
So yeah, that's what I mean. Is here we go, but they're actually talking. You love when they break that, don't you? And they
Yeah.
actually talk about it. Just drives me nuts. I'm like,
Because it usually doesn't happen too many times in TV shows, but with this
where they
one, it's
talk
like the,
about it, where they're like, "Oh,
like
we have a
every season.
storyline."
Yeah, they've mentioned something at least every season so far.
And it seems like you go maybe one episode without hearing about it, and then the next two you're gonna hear about it of you know of a plot line or something. You know what I mean? But yeah, Joey says it. I was like, oh. But it's just like foreshadowing too. You know she's not gonna go anywhere that the rest of them are going.
Right.
They're it's a TV show. They're all going to the same college. We all know that. That's why it kind of that's why I really in TV shows I really don't really care for the whole college episodes, as in like preparing for college, because they're all going the same place. I don't
Mm-hmm.
need to hear a whole episode about where they're going because we all know where they're going to
Yeah.
one place. So
Yeah.
it makes no sense to do, and this is for any future TV show. It doesn't make any sense to do a college episode and make us think they're going on to all different places, and they're really not. Because we all know the show would not go on if they were all in different places.
Yeah, I can only think of one show that didn't do that.
Yeah, well.
But they did have like a time jump, so.
But it just doesn't make any sense. Just cut out that college episode, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Yeah.
Um, well, just like when they toured the college. Okay, that's okay because they were all at one college. But to actually sit here and listen to where they're gonna go, no, I don't care to hear it. But you know what was funny was when they were reading off universities and stuff that she was accepted to.
Mm-hmm.
She said, like, I'm gonna go to like University of Hawaii, and I was like, that sounds good. Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
If you our temperatures here right now,
Mm-hmm.
it sounds really good to be in Hawaii.
Yeah.
I'll take Hawaii.
But do we even know what she wants to do for college, like her major?
No, because Dawson brings up two things or something she wanted to do. Remember? I didn't even know what it was. Something
Um,
and something, and I was like,
I think one of them was ocean photography.
and then something was something else, and I was like,
And
don't even, yeah, something,
yeah, it was something with an A, I
yeah.
think is. Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I can't really see Joey doing either one, but
Yeah,
I
but
really don't know what I can see Joey doing, to be honest with you.
I thought she'd do something with art.
But what?
I don't know, because she hasn't done art in a good minute, but
But she's kind of a little like Dawson, where she doesn't want to get judged for her artwork. So what would she even do?
mm-hmm.
Because if you're going to be an artist, you're going to be judged.
Yeah.
So what would she do that wouldn't be, judging her artwork? Just
Mm-hmm.
like Dawson, what the heck is he going to do?
I know he's into photography right now, so.
And all of a sudden, he changed. But my thing is like, he talks about going to California, which is great. But California, it's going to be tough for him
Mm-hmm.
because he's in a little town where he gets yeses. And if he gets a no, he just says, well, you don't know me.
Yeah, right now he's a big fish in a small pond, so. The
Yeah.
second he leaves Cape Side, he'll realize he's just a
He's
small
going to get
fish in a
crushed.
big
He's going
pond.
to get crushed.
Yeah.
And he's not going to like it.
Mm-hmm.
But it just doesn't really make any sense because I don't know. Like I can see Dawson in California, but at the same time, he's gonna get crushed.
Right.
So I mean, and I don't want to like hate on Dawson as much
Mm-hmm.
as I like to. It's just I don't think he's ready, but I also can't really see him going anywhere else.
Right.
Now, can you actually see him going to film school?
I did like the first couple seasons, yeah.
But now, season 4,
No.
they are ready to go to college. Can you see him going to film school?
No.
Why?
Because he doesn't even do it anymore. And we never even saw him finish his last couple movies.
We haven't seen any of his movies, let's be honest.
Mm-hmm. I feel like he would need, some examples of his work to even apply, so.
Well, remember he did the one that was it, the monster one or something?
Yeah, that actually won an award. That would have been good for college, but
But I
application.
don't get how it won an award.
I
Was
know.
nobody else? Did nobody else
Enter?
enter? That's what I
Yeah,
want to know
I
because it
know.
was the dumbest movie ever,
Mm-hmm.
and I just want to know if anyone. No, see that's the thing. Nobody else must have entered because there's no way his film, that creature thing, would have beat anybody else.
Right.
I'm not buying it. Then again, I'm not buying a whole lot on this show.
Mm-hmm. And then when they're in the with the college registration, they're find out that Joey is number 4, what she does.
Well, I'm surprised that Pacey is even talking to the college advisor because he's not going to college. He's barely graduating. So why is he even is he even taking those 3 classes after school?
We don't know.
He seems to never be at school.
Mm-hmm.
And when he is at school, it's when the rest of them are in school.
Yeah.
Like when everybody else leaves, he leaves. I thought he's supposed to be taking 3 extra classes after school.
I don't know.
You would be there till what, 5 o'clock?
At least 2 or 6, maybe.
Yeah, and he seems to be home at that time
Mm-hmm.
for dinner.
Yeah.
So and making out with Joey and stuff. So I don't get how he could even graduate because he's not taking these classes. I am not physically seeing him taking these classes.
So then by this point, he's already living with Gretchen in that beach house because
Yep,
we never saw them like move in or anything.
that was your move in when
Oh,
she toured.
okay.
Oh, that was them moving in when he was all grumpy.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying, like, he's not even going to graduate because he's not even taking these 3 extra classes.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. He would not have any time for anybody if he was taking these 3 extra classes.
Right.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's my thing. So why is he even talking to isn't this lady like just a college advisor?
Yeah.
So why is Pacey talking to her?
I don't know. I was gonna say maybe everybody was required to see her, but I feel like Pacey would be the exception
One
of that.
person that wouldn't be. I feel like it would be like if you want to go to college, because not everybody wants to go to college.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like the college advisor would only be if you want to go. You know, like
Right.
it shouldn't be mandatory because in like Joey's case, her family doesn't have money to send her. So, she has to think of a different, way out.
Mm-hmm.
And, I feel like some kids have to. So it's kind of like, um, I don't know. I just feel like it shouldn't be mandatory in my mind. Because again, some people just go to a trade school,
Mm-hmm.
and which to me is perfectly fine,
Mm-hmm.
because again, I don't think college is for everyone.
Right.
And, sometimes you hear too, like when they go to college for the 4 years, they
Mm-hmm.
don't actually end up doing what they went to college for.
I didn't.
And so it's kind of like it was a waste of your 4 years in my mind.
Yeah, I
It
actually
was a
went for
waste of
5 years.
it was a waste of money,
Mm-hmm.
time.
Yeah.
You just wasted your life away in my mind. So it's kind of like, that's why when Dawson says, who can even, what did he say? Somebody who can even think of where they're going to be in for or what they're going to do for the next 4 years. I understand that because, again, people that go to college sometimes don't end up doing that. So
Yeah.
I get it.
I'm an example. But it's only because I didn't have the experience. That's why nobody would hire me.
Well, I know that's that's what actually drives me nuts
Mm-hmm.
is when they're like, oh, you need to, apply. Well, but then when you apply, it's like, well, you don't have the experience. Well, no.
Yeah, I tried for
No,
two.
really.
Yeah, I tried for 2 years to get someplace where I actually went for school for, and because I had a degree and everything, but nope, I ended up just doing something that's technically below what I actually went to school for. So I had to like settle for less because that's all I could get.
Yeah, because you didn't have the experience.
Mm-hmm.
They actually talk about that Beverly Hills
Later on.
90210.
Oh,
Because when Brandon was talking about having to, because when they were doing the newspaper and everything, and it was like he was trying to apply
mm-hmm.
and nobody would take him because he needed the 2 year experience in
Yeah,
order to get it. And he's like, but nobody will hire me. And it's like, I feel
right.
ya.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I think the whole world can feel you,
Yeah.
except for if you're rich and can just pay your way in,
Mm-hmm.
which I feel like is what Drue would do.
Right. Yeah,
I don't
definitely.
think he has to worry about
Yeah.
what he's going to do
Right.
because he's just going to just buy himself into wherever.
Yeah, unless he's gonna work for the yacht club with his mom.
He doesn't like to lift a finger.
I know, I'm just saying
Well,
that if he doesn't go anywhere, he'll probably just stay there.
I can't imagine what Drew would even do.
Right.
Drew would even do. What is Jen going to do?
I don't know, later on she just says a master's on why men are necessary, but
Okay, what? Okay, besides Dawson and film, could you see any of them doing anything?
I feel
Like,
like
what would, okay, Cynthia, what would they do?
I only feel like
Because I don't
Andie.
know what anybody would do.
I just feel like Andie could really do anything she put her mind to because
I
she's
feel like
really
she could be a lawyer.
yeah. Instead, she says PR, which is not really being a lawyer, but still dealing with the same kind of tough situations sometimes.
Yeah, and stressful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we get Dawson being filmed. We got Andie. What would the rest of them do?
No clue.
I mean, seriously, what would Jack do? I mean, what does he even like to do?
Football, but now
He,
he can't play it.
but he says that he is only doing it, playing football,
Mm-hmm.
so that he could fit into the school. So it's not that he likes to play.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a true football player that is obsessed like Henry was.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say obsessed, but it's just like it's what your passion is.
Yeah.
And, like that was Henry's passion.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably what he's going to do for college.
Mm-hmm.
But Jack was only doing it to fit in.
Right.
So I don't even know what he's even into because he's only doing stuff just to fit in. And he likes art, remember?
Mm-hmm.
But that was only for one episode.
Right.
Like, what does Jack do? I mean, I guess I could see him coaching football maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but
Yeah, this
now that we've seen him play football, I don't know. Like, what would he even do?
yeah, this show doesn't do a good job at having their characters have just one activity or hobby or passion that they like to do that they could do past high school.
Well, I feel like if you're writing a show, by the time they are ready to graduate, their
Mm-hmm.
senior year, and we're now 4 episodes in, we as an audience should be able to think real quickly of what the characters would be doing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Based off of what their hobbies are, their passion, who they are as a person. This show just doesn't do it. All they ever do is talk about Dawson, and we get it. But what about the rest of them? Like, they make him the priority, and everyone's just secondary. And the problem is, they're all one. In my mind, they're all equal. I know it's called Dawson's Creek, but in my mind, they're all equal. So I should, by now, know, since they're graduating, what they're all going to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I should, just like when we said, well, we could see Andie being a lawyer because she's, like a tough little cookie who could do that. You know, she's one of the only people we can even say what she would do
Yeah.
or what she could do.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're writing a show, the audience needs to be able to pinpoint right away. That would mean we know the characters so well that we would know what they would be good at. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not feeling it. I don't know it. I don't know these characters, I guess, well enough to even say what they would do. They don't even say what they want to do, what they're good at, what they're hot. They don't even know. You wrote them for 4 years and you don't even know?
I guess.
How come the college advisor didn't say, what are you interested in? Like, I don't know. We don't know these things, and I want to know. I want to be invested. This is the reason why Pace is the only one I like, because they don't give us information on the rest of the characters for me to even make a statement if I like them or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know much about Jen, just that she parties.
Mm-hmm.
But what's it got to do with their future?
Right.
You know what I mean? Drue's
Mm-hmm.
rich, but what else is he? Besides a pain in the butt. Like, I don't know these things about these characters. So, and what's Jack? I just, I wish they would have given us more within these 4 years instead of just leaving us where we're at right now, which
Right.
is, I don't know much about these people.
Yeah, and then outside of school, that's when Drue finds Jen and
Oh,
says
I
that
am glad though, because when the advisor was telling Joey, I was happy that she told Joey, you're fourth. I can see you going to any of these colleges, but basically you're not going to get a full ride.
right,
I was happy she said that because Joey's whole thing has in her brain has always been,
get a
well, I'll
scholarship.
just I'll just work to get a scholarship, and it's like that only happens 1%, don't you think, that you actually get a full scholarship, a full ride?
Yeah, I mean, at our school, a lot of people seem to get close to that at least. or halfway.
I don't know. I feel like I ignored everybody. When that college time came around, I was like Joey, ignoring everybody. I was like Joey and Jack. I was like, don't want to talk about it. Don't want to
Yeah.
think about it. Just leave me alone.
Yeah, there was a was it ours or maybe a different class? I've been to some of these now, where the list was so long, it took like a good 20 minutes or something
For what?
for the scholarships to be announced.
And then I tuned out.
And maybe it was a different class. It was like a long time.
So remember for ours at Candlelight, we had they announced it like where everybody, whoever that got scholarships, blah blah blah. And even all of the, just even like $500 scholarship. I never got a scholarship, and I did not turn it in to our counselor.
Turn what in?
You had to tell our counselor like, "Oh, I got this scholarship, whether it was $100, whatever."
Oh,
And I didn't tell him, so they didn't call my name. My mom was mad, but I was like, I didn't want everyone to know because I didn't want to get up there
mm-hmm.
and probably fall on my face because I'm a klutz to what, receive a piece of paper or I don't even know what. Like, I didn't care. I'm not one to like sit there and be like, look at me, I got a scholarship. Like, I just wasn't that person. And so I was like, I'm not telling anybody that I got anything.
Wow.
I wanted to be done with school. I mean, let's be honest, I didn't even want to go to Candlelight.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it was a waste of my time. Plus, Candlelight is where it all went wrong for me.
Why?
So, okay. So, remember how we like purchased our cap and gown?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they didn't really tell us that I remember to like not bring our cap with us. So I brought it with me, and there were other people that brought their caps. And they told us during candlelight, well, you just have to leave your cap here, blah, blah, blah. So I did. When I went back after candlelight,
It was gone?
it was gone. And so I just had to pick one up that
I
had,
think I remember this.
yeah. And the one I picked up was so big.
Yeah.
It fell off, like it kept falling down. And I was like, this is so freaking embarrassing. So then I had to go to in graduation like that. I was like, this is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is bad for my future.
Right.
So I had to literally, and I remember the girl next to me. She had to keep fixing my cap because it kept falling.
Mm-hmm.
I was like so mortified. I was like, please just let graduation be over with because this is bad.
Yeah, mine was missing that collar thing that went with it. I didn't even know it was missing until I realized I was the only one that didn't have it.
Oh, that white thing.
Yeah. So I'm like, what the heck?
Wait, yours didn't have it?
No.
Wait, weren't you supposed to have it sewed on or something?
I don't know, but I didn't
Yeah,
have it. I had to like get one at the last second.
I think it was supposed to be sewn on.
Okay, well, I don't think it was sewn on if I just got it because I wouldn't have been able to.
No, I think your family was supposed to sew it on.
Oh, but we didn't get anything. We just got the cap and the gown. Nothing else came with it.
Did you
So
pay for yours?
yeah, I think so.
I did too. I
Yeah,
still have mine.
me
And I still
too.
have my big ass cap that I don't even, like, it did not fit my head.
Yeah.
I was so mortified. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, this is so wrong.
Yeah.
And it's not like and the problem was too, it's not like I could steal my brother's cap
Right.
because we had different colors.
Yeah, by gender. Yeah.
Huh?
Wasn't it by gender?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we
So
were.
girls were red
Yeah.
and boys were
Black.
black.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not like I could steal, yeah, I would wear my brother's black cap. That would have been funny, wouldn't it?
Would it even fit?
I don't know, but I feel like the one I had definitely didn't. Someone had a big head. I am
Mm-hmm.
sorry, but somebody in our class had a big ass head.
I wonder if he could have like used a bobby pin.
And then I wonder who in the hell took my cap.
Yeah, I know.
Seriously, someone is very rude and took it.
Well, hopefully they got, a
Hopefully,
big head with your small cap, so that was their karma for taking yours.
I really hope whoever took my cap had karma right after it. Yes, I do hope that because you know
Mm-hmm.
what? I had to suffer through graduation looking like an idiot. And then on top of that, what are you mostly afraid of on graduation day?
Falling.
Yep. So not only was my cat falling off my head, but I also had to then worry that I would trip. And since I'm a klutz, who did fall? Didn't somebody trip?
Yes, up the stairs. I don't know who.
Oh my god.
They didn't. I don't think they fell down. They could just kind of
No, they tripped, but
yeah tripped. So they almost did, but
oh my god. What wait, was it graduation day or was it practice for graduation?
I don't know.
Because I think it was right after candlelight. We had they made the
Practice.
seniors stay
Mm-hmm.
and we had to practice
Going up the stage.
the actual whole ceremony,
Yeah.
walking in
Yeah.
with
That's
whoever we
right.
were walking in with, and then sitting down, them going blah blah blah, saying what they're gonna do, and
Mm-hmm.
then everybody walks through.
Yeah.
And I remember we did the walkthrough, and I felt like somebody fell then.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. Somebody
And then it was
died.
like, and I was like, oh, okay, I made it through the walkthrough. Can I make it through graduation day?
Mm-hmm.
But then, but I don't, that's my thing is, did they trip during graduation or did they trip during the walk?
I have no clue.
But I remember somebody did, and everybody just started laughing.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like we were all going to get karma that day because we were all. But then it was like, but then I remember I was like, well, I don't think we should really be laughing because that could be us.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember, like, especially because the person, like, I'm an M.
Right.
So I'm way,
In the middle.
yeah. So it was like, and I remember it was definitely somebody before me. And I was like, this could be me in about 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not even going to even attempt to sit there and laugh like everybody else just because that could have been me
Yeah.
in front of everyone.
I feel like it was one of the guys at least.
It was? I thought it
I
was a
don't know.
girl.
I don't know. Everything's blurry. I just feel like in our class it would have been a guy.
You think it would have been a guy that tripped?
Yeah.
Who?
I don't know. Any one of them, really.
Anyway, a guy
I
just.
don't
No,
know. I just feel like girls are more careful with their steps sometimes.
they're not.
Well, depending, like, cause like I know some girls wore heels and they
I
wouldn't
wore
wear
heels.
ones.
That's what I was afraid of.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was my thing was, okay, walk, walk, walk,
Hmm.
walk. Do not fall.
Yeah, yeah. So then Drew tells Jen like even though he's been hanging out with her friends,
Okay, I
he
had an
didn't.
issue with
Yeah,
this.
he didn't tell them that
Yeah,
he
she
knew
was
her.
like, well, yeah, my friends didn't tell me that, they didn't warn me about you. And I'm like, Jen, they don't know that you know him. They don't know much about you, just like I don't know much about you. I'm like, what are they going to do? Just say there's some creepy guy around town. They're not. And this also is what tells you that Jen is not friends with these people because they don't talk. Think about it. If somebody was in our school and they were creepy like Drue, it'd be around.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you would tell your friends the minute you encountered him.
Right.
And the fact that just the last episode, Dawson, Andie, Jack, they all encountered him. Remember at the marina thing or yacht club?
Hmm.
So they all had to deal with him, right?
Yeah.
Not one of them told Jen about this, even just randomly as a friend, being like, there's this new guy
Yeah.
and blah, 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 blah. I mean, no one said anything. So you're not really
Yeah.
friends with them if they never even told you.
Yeah. Because at least Joey or Dawson should have said something to her because they had to work on that project with him.
Well, and Jack was there to pick up Andie, so he had to be around him.
Hmm.
And Jack is best friends with Jen.
Hmm.
And so I feel like it would have come from Jack
Yeah.
that there's this guy. Wait,
Mm.
but Jen was there. She,
Oh,
remember?
afterward.
Yeah.
Drew probably wasn't around. I don't think he was.
Remember she walked in afterwards. And then that's when we were like, we
Oh
got the
yeah.
cliffhanger of they know each other.
Yeah.
But again, that was the first time that all of them besides Joey, that was the first time that all of them met him.
Hmm.
So it was all new to them.
Yeah.
And she encountered him that night,
Right.
just like the rest of them encountered him.
Hmm.
So I don't think it's fair to say my friends didn't warn me about you because they met him basically the same time you met him.
Yeah. I mean, Joey only knew him for like an extra day.
Right, but Joey and Jen are not friends.
Right.
So it's not like she's going to go, hey Jen, there's this
Mm-hmm.
creepy guy around town.
Yeah, or like that said that he was one of the Owens, not Owens, Ross Owens,
Right. So it's
Owen
kind of
Ross,
like,
or
well, but the only one that knew about the Rosses
mm-hmm, was
was
Andie.
Andie,
Mm-hmm.
because she's the one that told her. So, but I don't think it's
So they could
fair.
have communicated,
So yeah,
but
now that we're talking about it, I don't think it's fair that Jen would even say, "Well, my friends," because you found out the same day,
mm-hmm.
the same night that the rest of them knew, besides Joey.
Yeah, because she's acting like he's been there for weeks already.
Yeah, and she's acting like he's been around her friends all this time
Yeah.
when they just met the dude.
Mm-hmm.
Really? That's just messed up to say. I did
Yes.
not like that comment.
Yeah, so Jude just says that he misses her, and she's like, "You only missed that I was willingly to try any illegal substance that he had." I think that's true.
Yeah. You know what though?
Hmm.
When Gretchen is filling out her application,
Yeah.
because apparently she wants to work at the Leary's fish place.
Mm-hmm.
Because on TV shows everybody has to work at the same place.
Yeah. Well, I think it's too because like she knows Dawson's family, so that made sense to me.
Um, but here we go. She's just now gonna find a job.
Yeah.
They bought a house.
Mm-hmm.
Pacey doesn't have a job. Well, he might still work at the video store.
Oh, we
I'm
don't
not.
know.
I'm not sure what
Yeah.
Pacey's doing. I mean, he ran off, or on the boat. But again, Dawson went to Philadelphia and still had a job. So maybe Pacey does still have a job. I don't know. But
Yeah.
like he can afford working at the video store. He can afford that beach house. I don't think so.
Right.
And secondly, Gretchen, shouldn't she, as the adult, have gotten a job before she bought the house?
Mm-hmm.
And my other thing is, Cynthia,
Hmm.
you can't buy a house without really having the money and having a job,
Yeah.
unless you inherited a whole bunch of money to afford the house.
Yeah. Unless she had savings from college.
But even, I don't think so. Gretchen, I don't think so. I don't think she's really that responsible where she would have all this money saved up. And also, and even to get a house, you gotta go through like the loan process. And it says on there where your job. She doesn't have one. How is she even getting money to afford? And how is she paying groceries,
Their dad.
utilities?
Their dad, maybe.
Why would wouldn't their dad say, well, I have a house here?
Maybe he likes
Okay, their dad.
Gretchen.
Their dad.
Maybe he likes Gretchen like he likes Doug. Or Doug gave her money too. Both of them did probably.
But it's just weird because their dad is not the giving type.
Mm-hmm.
He would be like, because Doug has a job
Mm-hmm.
and has his own place. He would be like, I feel like he would be the person that's like, well, if you want to live on your own, especially live together, you and your teenage brother, then you two can figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
technically, Pacey's supposed to be under his parents' roof.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like their parents would be like, no, you have to figure this out for yourself if you want to move out. Because Gretchen, you can stay here and live with us. And she had a free place, Doug. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Doug would say the same thing of like, I told you, Gretchen, you can stay here. Not Pacey, because he has a home. But Gretchen, you. So I'm not going to give you money because you should, you know, just stay here. So I don't know. I just don't feel like people would be giving them money. It's not like they're Dawson's parents that would give Dawson money. Like if Dawson tried it. So it didn't make any sense. But again, I'm like, here we go. They have a nice beach house and Gretchen doesn't have a job. But yeah, let's act like that they can do this. Oh, and also, if Gretchen's not going to college, I feel like her parents probably would say, no, I'm not going to give you money.
Oh
Because a
yeah.
lot of people do that. A lot of parents are like, I'll give you money if you're in college, for groceries and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to give you money if you drop out, which is what Gretchen's doing. She dropped out. So I feel like her parents would be like, definitely not. You're on your own.
Mm-hmm.
Like you chose not to go back to college, so we're choosing not to give you money. Now, what did you think when Gail came out? It was kind of rude to Gretchen when she was talking about, well, you're not going to college and but like It was just really weird. I was like, calm down, Gail.
I don't know, I just thought she was concerned because it's out of the blue that she's back like that.
Well, it's none of her business. She's not Gretchen's mother.
I know, but she still had to know if Gretchen was going to stay for a while or
It was
not
just came off
to
rude.
work there.
It came off rude. Like, I don't feel like she would snap at another college student or college age person. You know, I just don't feel like she would snap at someone else. It's just because it's Gretchen.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see her as snapping, but
I did. She had the look on her face of like, yeah. But anyway, she does end up hiring Gretchen, which is nice because, you know, we all know Gretchen needs a job.
mm-hmm.
But I think it was because Dawson kind of cut Gail off.
Yeah.
Where then she was like, kind of like, when can you start?
Mm-hmm. And then at practice, Jack messes up his shoulder.
Well, first, the first thing I saw was when we saw the scene of football practice. I was like, hey, we haven't seen football in a long time. I mean, even when Henry was playing, we saw when they did, what was it, when Dawson did his movie, and then after that, it's like we never saw football again.
Mm-hmm.
Remember? I was
Yeah.
like, how can it just go away that fast?
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were, trying to make the show better by bringing sports in.
Yeah.
And then it turned again.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, you had two characters in football. You should have kept the football thing going.
Yeah.
But anyway, we haven't seen football in a while, and here it is, all so we can see Jack get hurt.
Yeah.
Now, first though, Andie shows up to practice, going on and on about, the college advisor called the college.
Harvard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Andie.
Yeah, and they remembered her essay.
Yeah, out of thousands of applicants.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, what in the world? What did she put in there that made them pick, remember hers?
Probably about her mom and herself.
That's what I'm wondering,
And her
because I'm
brother.
like, there's no way
Mm-hmm.
you just writing an essay would overtop,
Mm-hmm.
another person.
Yeah.
Unless you really put what you're going through and what you have been through,
Mm-hmm.
like your life experience. That'd be
Mm-hmm.
the only way they'd remember you.
Yeah.
But also, because they kind of, well, in this episode, Joey's like, well, Andie kind of doesn't have to worry because of her father's.
Alumni.
Yeah.
Alumni. Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like, I don't know, did she throw that in there too?
I don't know, maybe. Yeah, and then random guys are telling Jen happy birthday and talking about her birthday party.
Well, what's funny was when they're all worried about Jack when he comes to school.
Mm-hmm.
And then that one guy comes up, I don't know his name, but he came up and was like, happy birthday or something to Jen. Or no, did he say that? I don't know. It was weird because he was like standing there all weird. And
Yeah.
Dawson goes,
Can we help you?
he said, anything else we can help you with?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's funny.
Yeah.
Because of how he said it.
Yeah.
It just made me laugh.
Mm-hmm.
But Jack
Mm-hmm.
says that Jen's birthday is in May.
Right.
I know I don't like okay. I don't like to be critical, but there's another issue I got with this. It's a continuity issue.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
Do you remember in season 1 when she turned 16?
Right.
That was the beginning of the school year.
It was like the very beginning?
Yep. Because remember, episode 1, they say what their first day of school. Remember? They're like, ooh, first day of high school, or the first day of school.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then we kind of realized that season 2 starts probably in January, a new semester.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in season 1, she turned 16, which would mean her birthday is between September and January, not in May, because that would mean that her birthday would have been in season 2 at the end of the school year, not in season 1. You get my drift?
Yeah.
Now that I told you that, does this make any sense to you, that her birthday's in May?
No.
Okay. That was my thing, was as soon as I said that, I was like, wait a minute. She had a birthday in season 1.
Mm-hmm.
So this doesn't make any sense. Because her birthday would have been season 2 at the very end. But she never had a birthday in May. So this continuity thing is wrong. It actually makes more sense that they would throw a birthday in episode 4. Because her birthday was at the beginning of the school year in season 1. you know?
Hmm.
So actually, this makes sense. The whole May birthday does not make any sense. I just thought I'd throw that in there.
Yeah. So then Jen finds out that Drue's throwing that birthday party for her.
Yeah, of course he is.
And like even her French class saying her happy birthday, which I thought was funny.
Yeah. So when Gail and Dawson are talking, um, she brings up Dawson running to California from Joey.
Yeah.
Why would he? Do you think he's running from Joey?
No.
Because film, think about it, filmmaking,
Hmm.
you kind of got to go to California, don't you? To even start, at least. Well, I feel like nowadays you can start anywhere and just submit it.
Hmm.
But I feel like back then, you actually had to go there
Yeah,
to get your
probably.
foot in the door.
Hmm.
Like now you can just post it anywhere, but not then.
Right.
He would have actually had to go to California. Even if he went for a month, he would still, I feel like, have to go just to put his name out there.
Hmm.
Even if he didn't go to film school or anything, he would still have to do something in California.
Right.
So I just didn't really think that made any sense that like if Dawson went to, I don't know, anywhere else, that to me would mean he's running. But I don't agree that he's running if he's going to California
Hmm.
because his dream has always been film,
Yeah.
and film to me equals California. So no, I didn't agree with it, but I just wondered if you agreed that he's running from Joey by going to California.
No, I just think he doesn't really know where he wants to go, that's all. But back when Drew was talking to Jen about the birthday party, he said that he wants to get her out of the funk that she's been in since Henry broke up with her, but she says that she broke up with him.
How does he know anything about Henry?
Probably just hears things, ask questions about her to other people. But do you think that was true, or she was just lying to make herself not look so sad?
I don't know.
Because he did break up with her, right?
Yeah, through Jack.
Yeah, so I don't know why she told him that it was the other way around, but
People
yeah.
do this on this show. They turn things.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when Dawson acted like Pacey stole her, like as if they were together?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people twist things on this show. Oh, remember when Andie said that Pacey broke her heart?
Yeah.
Andie broke Pacey's heart. What is she talking about? This is, I mean, they switch things.
And then Joey tells Pacey about her college problem.
Yeah, because Bess told Joey. This is where Joey finally says the reason why she can't tell Pacey is because he's barely going to graduate. And then Bess said, well, you need to tell him.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny.
Yeah, Pacey said that she's a bright girl. I mean, she's a girl with a bright future, and he's just a guy who's not going to get into any school. And that's when Joey tells him that they're going to Jen's party.
Yeah, and then so I thought it was funny though. And he was like, I wish we could all have your problems.
Right.
Now I have a question. So they bring up how Joey's fourth.
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice that it's the fourth episode of season 4?
Nope.
It's 4-4.
Mm-hmm.
And she's fourth. I wonder if they did that on purpose.
Don't know.
Like, this is our fourth episode, so she's going to be fourth. Like, why
Mm-hmm.
couldn't she be third or fifth?
Right. I don't
And
know.
now, how many kids are in this class?
I don't know that numbers change. Um, First season it was like 1,600 because Pacey said that there was like 800 guys. Unless he's talking about the whole school.
I think he was
Just let
talking
me.
about the whole school
Okay,
because I
so
don't think it was. Remember that they live in a small town.
yeah, so and then the Mr. Green episode, I think he said 300. Like we don't even know 300 people or something for the petition.
Hmm.
So I don't know, 200 maybe at the most.
In their class?
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. We haven't seen.
Anybody besides like the 6 of them?
Yeah, we haven't like. Well, there was the election episode where we saw the whole school to get a better look at the classes, but we still didn't know who was who. So I don't know.
Hmm. I just wondered because she's fourth out of how many?
Right. And I'm surprised like we didn't learn what Andie is because she's supposed to be really smart too.
Well, clear probably above. If she's going to Harvard, I'll just bite my tongue. If she's going to Harvard, she's probably one.
Really a second, yeah.
Yep.
I feel like if she was one, she would have been bragging about that too.
Well, she's going on about Harvard.
Mm-hmm. Exactly,
so,
yeah.
so I feel like she's got to be number one.
Mm-hmm. And at the party, Joey wants to drink, but Pacey says she can't handle the liquor,
Oh,
so only
okay.
he's gonna drink because he's a guy.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
Protective Pacey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you. Okay, remember the last time Joey got drunk?
Which one was that now?
Season 1. Who was there?
Pacey.
Pacey. Remember that guy was hitting on her?
I thought she might have got drunk one time before or after that. I don't know. Yeah, but yeah.
No. That was the first time.
Oh.
And remember, he even told her to stop drinking then.
Mm.
Remember, and I said it was so cute to see him so protective over her.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just funny because it's like he knows from that episode that she can't hold her liquor.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Well, because think about it. They weren't together. They were
Mm-hmm.
still kind of enemies.
Yeah.
And now they're dating and he remembers them.
Mm-hmm.
See, he really does remember everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so she
Oh,
just
yeah, but then she gets the alcohol anyway and says that they're both going to be guys tonight.
yeah, I was gonna say yeah.
Oh, Joey, you can't hold your liquor. At least Pacey's at the party.
Mm-hmm.
Because what was Dawson doing?
Somewhere else.
He wasn't stepping in or anything of being like, hey, you shouldn't drink. But remember, at the party, he wasn't concerned with Joey drinking, remember? That's what a
Mm-hmm.
good friend he is.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Jen finds Drue and figures out that the
Oh,
house that they're at isn't his.
well, first, about the alcohol.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny, though, when Pacey was saying that he was going to drink. And then he was like, oh, he goes, well, I mean, with your approval and permission.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what?
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, but what are you guys married? Like, you're in high school.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're kind of acting
Um,
like they're married.
yeah.
Well, okay, so when Jen arrives and then she talks to Drue,
Mm-hmm.
he says, I invited 65 of your closest friends.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 65 people at that party. Did you see it's a 3-story house?
No, I didn't know this.
Yep, 3 stories.
Mm-hmm.
There was like 3 decks.
Mm.
I was like, dang, that's a big house.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Jen figured out that if the cops show up, everyone will only know that's Jen's party, so
Yeah,
she'll take the fall.
yeah, because it was her birthday.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think that, like, do you think her theory was right?
About what?
About that he had the beach house at someone else's house or the party at someone else's house and said it was her birthday, so that like if the cops showed up, they'd be like, "Oh, it's Jen's party,
Yeah.
like it's Jen's birthday."
Yeah.
Because think
Found
about
that
it,
out.
like for any high school, all you got to do is say, "I'm having a party," and everybody will show up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I won't, but everybody else will show up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like you don't have to have a reason for people to show up. All you got to do is say you got alcohol, and it seems like teenagers run for that.
Yeah.
So I don't think Drue would need a reason to have a party.
Right.
But I do think that she's right that he would use her birthday, and that's what make the cops question her.
Mm-hmm. And then Dawson actually was concerned about her drinking because they do meet up at the party and congratulates her for being fourth in the class and how she can get anywhere. So, like, he's like, "Are you celebrating by drinking?" And she's like, "I want to talk about anything else but college."
All I saw him do was yap about college to her, and then that's when they talk about 2 things she's wanted to be, because he's like, well, you know what you want to be, and you've known since you were little,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when she was like, what kind of, didn't she like kind of say she made it up or something?
Yeah.
And how did he find out she's fourth? Because like when he sees her, he's like, oh, number 4.
He probably heard it from somewhere. Maybe,
Oh no, didn't they say they were making a bet or something?
I don't know. I can't remember.
And I heard something about making a bet, and that because remember she was like, how do you know? And I was like, yeah, Dawson, did you get that from Mitchie? Did Mitch tell you that?
Mm-hmm.
So when Drue is ready to play poker,
Mm-hmm.
um, he tells Pacey, he calls Joey the ball and chain.
Yeah.
And then Pacey was like, yeah, I'm just trying to find the ball and chain. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, that was funny.
But then Pacey ends up playing poker.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when Joey is outside with Jen,
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I think Joey tells the truth when she's drunk.
Me too.
Remember, she did in season 1 when she was drunk and kissed Dawson.
Mm-hmm.
That was showing her feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And then here it is when she tells Jen, we're not really friends.
Right.
And then she's like, what? And it's like, I'm just kidding. I'm like, Joey, you're not kidding when you're drunk, first of all. And you're not kidding.
Mm-hmm.
You two are not friends.
Yeah, and then she did ask her, like, are we friends? Because I don't remember the exact moment we became friends, so.
They're not friends. They make us feel like it sometimes when they put them together randomly. And then that's it. But no, I do not think that these two are friends.
Yeah, that's why Jen tells her not to think about it too much, or else they'll remember why they're supposed to hate each other.
Yeah.
And Joey says she doesn't hate her, she loves her, and starts,
Yeah, then Jen goes, you love everyone tonight.
Yeah.
And then Andie comes out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, what is up with Andie's hair?
I didn't know this.
It was crimped.
Oh, yeah, the 2000 style.
No, it was crimped, curled, and straightened.
Yeah, they were pretty, had a lot of different, a lot of different styles back then.
What would you want to say?
VAR.
Huh?
But
Variations?
yeah, along the lines of that word, yeah. Yeah, that was just a style back then. Like, remember, like, Lizzie McGuire was the same way with their hairstyles. And that was in the early 2000s as well. So
Was it crimped or braided?
it could be really anything. And it looked cool back then, but now it looks kind of too much.
Yeah, it's definitely too much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then Joey also did tell Jen about Drue and how his dad left
I have
for a
a
younger
question
woman.
about that.
Yeah.
It was just the last episode that we saw the dad, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the yacht club.
Yep.
During the hurricane or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So that man is the one that ran off.
I guess.
Like we just saw him.
Yeah.
We just saw him
Mm-hmm.
last episode, and they're gonna make us believe he just ran off.
Right. Yeah, I was surprised about that too.
Couldn't they have waited 2 episodes and then said he ran off?
Mm-hmm.
It would have been more believable, like we haven't seen him.
Yeah, so that's why Jen figures out why he's partying again like this.
Like that would have made more sense. It's like Bodhi. We didn't see him for 2 whole seasons, so it's like, well, he could have been anywhere. But it's just weird how they show Drue's dad and Drue's parents kind of seem like they're good, right? And then at the next episode, he runs. The story is he ran away, the dad, to go be with somebody else or whatever. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. It's the next episode, so it's what, at least a week later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And it's not like Drue's behavior changed from the last episode to this episode.
Right.
Like he should have went on a down spiral before. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just his behavior hasn't changed, so it's not like we would be like, "Oh, what's questioning why is he acting like this?"
Mm-hmm.
Because this is the way that he seems to be as a person. So I just didn't like that, but I was like, this doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah, and then when Andie does find Jen and Joey outside, she asks him if she's too controlling. They both say yes without hesitation.
Now, do you like that she keeps pressuring Jack about college?
No.
Me either. Like, not everybody, like I said, not everybody goes to college.
Mm-hmm.
And she just needs to let it go.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're going to Harvard. Worry about yourself.
Yeah.
And let's be honest. If Harvard really knew what you did, you won't be going anywhere.
What did she do?
Stole the test.
Yeah. Yeah, because Mr.
I love how that's never brought up again.
Yeah, well, Mr. Green isn't even at a school anymore. And
No, but wouldn't that have been filed somewhere? That she did this?
I think he kept it on the.
I know he did, and that's wrong.
Yeah,
that's illegal.
Mm-hmm.
She did some, but she's acting like she didn't do a thing. Remember, like she's goody two shoes, and it's like, but you're not though. Like I love how season 3 you were like, oh my god, look what I did, and now season 4 you're like, I'm going to Harvard. Like it's 2 different actions.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the pity party one because you're not you just showed me going to Harvard, Andie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I thought it was funny when Joey says it's not a judgment. She just gave an analogy about how people like their dressing on the salad while others like it on the side.
Yeah, and Andie's like, what? And it's kind of like, And your point is?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was just funny because she's just so drunk and she's like, yep, they understand what that means.
Did you like when they said, in 5 years, let's come back here? And when they said what their predictions are going to be
Mm-hmm.
for the future,
Yeah.
and let's come back here in 5 years, see if it comes true. Nah, I don't.
Yeah, I don't believe
I
it's gonna
don't think
happen.
that's going anywhere.
Yeah, but that was funny how Joey's like, how are we gonna remember the day? It's not Jen's birthday. And then Jen said she'll remember. So that was funny.
Um, so Joey decides to play strip poker.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here is one of my favorite moments. This is when Pacey takes her out.
Yeah, I figured that would be.
I just love him so much.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, what's funny though is that Dawson was watching. Um, and I love that again, what's Dawson gonna do? Dawson didn't care. He wasn't stepping in.
Right.
You know what I mean? And even if that was his girlfriend, he wasn't gonna step in. Like, he's not that type of guy to just step in and take her out, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because she could have got herself in some serious trouble.
Yeah.
And then she would have woke up the next day and regretted it all.
Mm-hmm. And then Drew and Jen are sitting on that table
Oh, yeah, and
with
what
the
did it remind
candles.
you of?
16 candles.
La la. Again, hmm,
What?
should I say it?
I don't know. What is it?
Uh, remember when Dawson got the criticism that he was making films about other films, or it was brought
Mm-hmm.
up,
Yeah, yeah, by
films of, yeah, you're making films of other films,
Mr. Green's daughter. I can't remember her name already now, but
Nikki.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm. Here we go. You're making a scene about a movie.
Yeah.
You're, you're doing the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know. But he gave her a birthday gift.
Yeah. Okay. She opens it up, and what is it? Can you say the name?
No, so I just put LSD in my notes.
Ex-
Molly, I don't know, whatever other name.
no, it's ecstasy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this is why I can't stand Drew. Like, Jen has changed her ways.
Mm-hmm. But he ends up leaving it with her anyhow.
Don't like him.
Yeah.
Um, so Andie tells Jack.
Mm-hmm.
First, she's like, "How'd you get home, Dawson?" I mean, I don't really care. Ugh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you do. Okay. She she says that she's not obsessed with the future. That's all she's been doing.
Right.
And that's all she's been doing. What? Even in season 3, she kind of would bring up the future randomly.
Mm-hmm.
Andie is obsessed with the future. I disagree with her when she says she isn't.
Right.
I think she is.
Yeah.
And Cynthia.
Mm.
Here you go. They are twins.
Yeah, but they still don't use the word. That's why I'm wondering what they're
No, I
doing.
know, because he says, I tried to go to kindergarten before you,
Yeah.
like without you, kind of. And it
Mm-hmm.
was like, but they're talking about kindergarten.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck? They are twins. And then she
Mm.
says, well, I'm like the older sibling. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, they are so twins.
Yeah.
You guys did not believe me when I said that they're twins.
Well, they didn't set it up like that until the last moment, so
No, they put it as Jack's the older brother. Well, guess what? What, by a minute or two?
I guess.
He's he's not like the older brother.
Mm-hmm.
They're twins.
Yeah, well, I figured if he was older just by a year. But yeah, so
But
Pacey,
he'd be out of high school.
right, yeah.
Like, they're seniors.
Yeah, I know, until this season, yeah, I figured. But Pacey, brings Joey home now. He opens the passenger door and she's like, I can't walk.
Yeah, and he goes, well, you wanted to be a guy tonight, and
Mm-hmm.
guys walk.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. I love that whole scene.
Mm-hmm.
But it was so cute when he said, I plan to be wherever you are.
Yeah,
Oh
that
my
was
gosh.
sweet.
And he tells her that he's in love with her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's cute.
Yeah, it was.
And then he carries her into the house.
Halfway because his back is killing him.
Yeah, well, he ends up like kind of like throwing her a little.
Yeah.
It was cute. What'd you think of the scene?
Yeah, it was cute. I was wondering what was going to happen with them. with Joey going to college somewhere and he wouldn't really have any place to go. So,
So Dawson goes to find Gretchen, or he goes to find his mom, and Gretchen's there. I don't know. But he's talking to Gretchen, and he was talking about uh, it's like the last scene, and he was talking about a certain couple, Pacey and Joey,
mm-hmm,
and was talking about he's seen them kiss, and he said tonight he saw them fight, and he said
yeah,
it's actually worse than the kissing,
mm-hmm,
and I was like, and you want to know why? Like, in my opinion, you want to know why? Because they can actually, because he knows that when they fight,
mm-hmm,
they can work it out. They can
mm-hmm,
get through anything.
mm-hmm,
Like, because sometimes couples, when they fight,
mm-hmm,
they end.
yeah,
And he knows that because of their history,
mm-hmm,
Pacey and Joey can get through anything. Like, and
yeah,
he is now seeing it.
right,
And because that's what Dawson and Joey didn't have. They didn't have where they could fight and everything's okay.
right,
They would brush it under the rug, but it was still there.
mm-hmm. And
You
they
know,
did break up.
yeah, and then they would break up.
Mm-hmm,
So it was like they could not work through the fighting.
right,
But here you go, Pacey and Joey can.
mm-hmm,
And, and I think that's what scares Dawson is like, man, I think he's realizing, like, I don't know, you know. But yeah, every time he says it, like when I hear it, it's just like, yes, but that just means I can get through anything.
mm-hmm.
What'd you think when he said that?
Yeah, I figured that he knew, you know,
It's
that it was different
like
with them.
serious.
Mm-hmm,
Yep. Well, because what can they not get through? You know what I mean?
mm-hmm,
Like, if you can get through all of this,
mm-hmm,
you're good.
yeah,
You're solid. And I think, well, you have to think too. Don't you think like Pacey and Joey are solid in their relationship
mm-hmm,
compared to Dawson and Joey?
yeah,
I mean, right from the start, all they did was fight. And here, it's more loving and more real
mm-hmm,
than that. And I think it freaks Dawson out because he was hoping by now that they'd break up. Because remember, he was like, I can tell you it's going to be wrong,
mm-hmm,
but you're not going to listen. Remember, that was in the finale.
yeah,
When I think in his mind, he was like, okay, they're gonna they're gonna come back and they're gonna be broken up, and then now I can win her over.
mm-hmm,
Well, it's not working that way.
yeah,
It's working out better.
mm-hmm. And then Dawson, wants to know more about Gretchen by doing what she was doing, the bounced a quarter in the glass, and
He has no money.
yeah, so she's like, you have to use your own money. I'm not giving you mine. So we still don't know why she's in Cape Side.
But do you like Gretchen?
Yeah, I do.
Um, well, and now that he's not a part of the duo, Pacey and Joey,
Mm-hmm.
it's nice that he has someone else to talk to.
Yeah.
Um, so what was your high and low?
Um, my low was, I don't know, this episode wasn't too bad, but I guess Drue giving Jen the pills, because
The
I can't
what?
say the word.
What is it?
Ecstasy, or I feel like that's kind of close, but yeah. He gave her that, and then the high would be Pacey telling Joey that he's gonna go where she's gonna go. So what's yours?
Okay, so my low is Drew giving Jen the ecstasy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then the high was the whole scene where Pacey gets her out of the car
Mm-hmm.
and he tells her he's in love with her.
Yeah, because
And
he
then he
knows he didn't fall in love
carries,
with a moron, he said.
huh?
He said that he knows he didn't fall in love with a moron.
Yeah, and then he has to get the drunk girl
Mm-hmm.
into her sister's B&B. Yeah, so that's my favorite scene, most definitely. But I also, second is obviously when he's carrying her out because she wants to play strip poker and
Mm-hmm.
she's drunk.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I just love those two.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's my high and low. I would rate this a 9. I liked it. What would you rate it?
An 8.
An 8. I finally
Mm-hmm.
beat you.
Because you like Pacey and Joey more than I do.
Yes. If they didn't have their cute moments, it would not be a 9.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then who's your best and worst?
My best was just Pacey.
Why?
Just because he was, making sure Joey didn't do something stupid when she was drunk. And then the worst is Drue, of course, for basically being another Abby and interfering with her life and making things bad for her. Or at least trying to. What's yours?
My best is Pacey.
Of course.
You picked him too. You can't even say that when you picked him.
I know. That's still not a surprise.
Because he was looking out for her the whole time, like he does anytime she's drunk, apparently. And the worst was Drue. Same reason.
Yeah, luckily the party wasn't stopped by cops after all.
By Doug, the only one in town.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of like I was waiting for Doug to show up. Because he just does randomly at parties.
Yeah.
But yeah, Drue giving her the pills at the end. I mean, that's just it's only gonna lead to trouble.
Yeah, and it's worse than giving her alcohol.
Well, and it's like, you know, everyone else was just kind of. I mean, I didn't like Andie pushing so much. Like I would have picked her because she was driving me nuts.
Yeah.
With the whole pushing everybody for college. I mean, she was going to buy Jen a book. She bought her a book for her birthday about college.
Oh yeah, that was
wrong.
Pretty wild, yeah.
It's like nobody wants to think about it, and here you are pushing yourself. Like she was second on my list, but once Drue was at the tip, but then he gave her the drugs, and I was like, all right, you really are the worst. I really don't like you.
Yep.
All right, so what's the next episode?
Episode 5, A Family Way.
All right. Can't wait to find out what that's about. All right, thanks for listening.
Yep, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about the episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us at Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Duo Chat Podcast. And give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would really appreciate it.